ball, I think, is what I'm going to go with, or something. I mean, it's still tweakable. And why the freak do I have a pirate hat on? You might want to know that. So don't worry, I got my trusty Vols cap right here. I have a pirate hat because the boat that is it is sinking. Uh, Gosh, guys, Tennessee can't get any good news today whatsoever, or even the last couple days. And okay, that's enough of that. So, man, it's just frustrating. Sorry about the glare off my bald head. It's frustrating. It's maddening. Um, I know we as fans, all we can do is support the team. And I think most of us have done that by buying apparel, going to games, buying whatever merchandise. And I should say, we expect a little bit in return, which we got that in 2024, obviously, with a really good season and a really good run. Unfortunately, ended, as my last video said, obviously ended really, really badly, but it was a heck of a season, a hell of a season altogether. But the focus of this video is what in the world is going on with transfer portal. So if you guys don't follow it that closely, you can jump on pretty quickly. You can jump on Twitter, you can jump on VolQuest, wherever you get your sources at, and we're just not landing anybody in the portal. One, Wendell Moy, I think is his name, from Arizona, tackle lineman. That's good, or not tackle. I think it's a guard. Might be a tackle. Might be wrong on that one. That's good. That's one. So we're losing several. Most alarming. Didn't plan on doing a video today. That's why I'm not very. Don't have my best dubs on. But the news is that just recently broke. I just found out about it about a half hour ago, 20 minutes ago, and apparently Squirrel White in the portal. Can you believe that one? I know some of the other prominent YouTube podcasters out there had said something a few days ago. I didn't really know if there was any smoke to that. Apparently there was. Squirrel plans to enter the portal, or does enter the portal, I should say. So I'm not sure where he's going. Dang. So I know some could argue that this season didn't live up to what his other seasons had been. Definitely not. Didn't live up to what he did last year, but still dang good receivers, fast as freak. And hello there, hi. And anyway, you don't want to lose someone like that. We can't afford to lose someone like that. Or I say afford. Funny that I use the word afford in NIL. So anyway, speaking of NIL, what in the freak is going on with Tennessee's NIL, man? I know nobody claims to really know the 100% know the number. Right? I don't know them at all. I just talk to some guys with more than me. And a lot of it is assumptions about what the numbers truly are. But I'll say this: I can tell you this real quick: is whatever the numbers are, if it's 12 million, if it's 13 million for Tennessee, and some of these programs are allegedly sitting at 20 mil plus, it's not enough. It's not enough. I don't, whatever. It's not enough, because if we can't keep people like Squirrel White, people from wanting to hit the portal and go get what they, can get, when we don't have deep enough pockets, apparently, with the collective to keep them there, and less hypo. Yeah, we have Mike Matthews, which is probably going to be a stud 5-star. Next year is going to take a bigger role, but you can't lose all these guys. Thornton's gone. Now Squirrel's gone. Brew's out of eligibility. So, where are these skill players on the outside coming from? Braylon Staley's going to be a good one. He is a good one currently. So, yeah, we got a couple good dudes, but, Tennessee football, listen, Vol fans, I'm on here complaining and griping because obviously we just weren't good enough to compete against top-notch talent like Ohio State. It was even the craziest Vol fan out there, and they're really crazy. We weren't good enough. We weren't even close to good enough to compete with Ohio State. So we cannot afford as a football program to allow most of these guys to transfer out of here and not pick up a couple elite prospects, or athletes. I know it opens back up in April for 10 days, so it's not a done deal. But I wasn't really concerned until about now. Over the last couple days, we just didn't really get would land as many as some schools. But anyway, jump into that. So that's Squirrel. He's going to transfer. Unless he decides to back out is something. I mean, I don't think they would have announced this late in the game unless it was legitimate. So here's the other thing. Okay, haven't even mentioned this yet. Boo Carter. Apparently, Boo is in talks with what most think is Ole Miss in Colorado, and is in serious talks with him, is what the wording was, and that he's really hashing it out. Heupel is hashing it out. He's wanting to play offensive side of the football. If you've not went back and watched Boo Carter's high school tapes, the kid is electric with the ball in his hands. So he played offense. He may have played defense in high school too. I don't remember on that one, but he definitely played offense, and he is legitimate. So he is wanting to play offense. So he is in talks, not just from a money standpoint, but definitely wants to pursue the offensive side of the ball. If it means keeping him in Knox, he is too good of a player to let him go to Ole Miss or Colorado and play offense, and we lose him. So hopefully we can work that one out. And then Arian Carter. Okay, Arian Carter. The word is that he is in serious talks with Ole Miss, and Ole Miss has offered him quite a bit. So I think those two there, both Carters, are in serious talks with the coaching staff and the collective, and what the collective can do to keep them. Now, is some of that why we didn't get some transfer guys? Because it's costing us this much to try to keep the current players on the roster. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But hopefully, it works out. I hate to see all these guys. Or what's your all's thoughts, man? Are you panicking? Here we had a good season. Heupel's fourth year. A lot of good things. Didn't really kind of ended on a sour note. But I just don't think, unlike an Ohio State or Georgia, we can't lose these kind of guys. We can't lose these kind of guys. It's one thing to lose backup, somebody not getting the significant role. Tennessee football cannot lose these type of skill players, man. Or not just skill players, but anybody really of that caliber that is a starting player with as much promise as Boo Carter and as much promise as Arian has already showed. So I wasn't panicked, didn't plan on doing the video, but when that one broke on my phone a little bit ago, I'm like, okay, this is it. I got to go do a video real quick because I'm getting pretty concerned at this point. Listen, I mean, Tennessee athletics, a lot of good things rolling, man. Basketball, look at that. I mean, Lady Vols, awesome. But, are we going to be able to take that? And I know how the Tennessee fan base is. Listen, I mean, this is just me being honest with us, right? We are a rabid, extremely passionate, somewhat delusional fan base. And when we get ticked off or when we really feel like not moving in the right direction, we are ready to, fire them all, fire everybody, fire. And I plead with people a little bit. Am I frustrated? Absolutely, I'm frustrated. The worst thing I can think of is Nico hitting the portal. I mean, Merklinger and stuff, but yeah, McIntyre coming in. You don't want somebody like Nico hitting the portal, but that's not happen. That's not happen, and it doesn't appear that it's going to happen. But other than that, we've had a pretty shitty week, honestly, just to be blunt about it. Nothing really has happened that's been good. We got our hind end kicked a week ago, and then this portal mess and trying to keep people on the roster, and I don't know. To a certain extent, and I saw another YouTuber comment on it, but to a certain extent, I think that they're going to have to probably tweak the portal, the dates and stuff. It doesn't really make sense to me that your best teams in the country that are in the playoffs are having to deal with all this portal, go try to win a playoff game, um, or in our case, get our butts kicked. But my point is, I don't know, because the teams that are not in playoffs and the teams that aren't doing that, then they have a jump on you, man. They can focus almost 100%. Yeah, they might be playing in the whatever do drop in bowl joke, but they can focus on next season. They can focus on the portal and doing it. When you're in the playoffs, the timing's weird. I think they can tweak that. Either open it up sooner, don't open it up at all, open it up later. Something I don't know, and actually that's what Brent Hubbs actually of VolQuest, to give him a shout out. He said the exact same thing, and I agree with him 100%. I think that it can be tweaked, it can be adjusted a little bit, so where you're not these best teams in the nation that are competing in the playoffs aren't 2 weeks behind the non-playoff teams on the portal stuff. So I don't know, maybe they'll figure it out, but I don't know what Tennessee's numbers are. I don't know what NIL numbers are for the Vols, but I've heard from several sources that it's somewhere between 11 and 13 million, 12 million gets tossed out there. So they can't be real far off. Nobody knows for sure. Okay, nobody knows. And I've had a couple guys message me directly and say nobody knows for sure. You don't. But Ole Miss spent a lot of money last year on their roster. It didn't work out for them a whole lot in 24, but if they still have enough to go after our guys, then obviously there's got to be a little bit of a financial problem for the Vols. It's, at least as far as football is concerned. Okay. Something. Who knows what we're giving David Sanders? And we need it. We need him bad. We need about 3 David Sanders. Be great. But so are we spending so much on a couple of these elite guys that you can't keep the other guys on the roster? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But it's funny, a year, half or so ago, when it all started, when IL first started, the narrative was when we got Nico signed and all this, Spire Sports Group was the number one. I heard this mentioned from a couple people, was the absolute number one NIL out there in the country. And everybody else was trying to play catch up at that point. Guess what? Not only have they played, I don't specifically know, right? I'm just complaining like everybody else does, but something's wrong somewhere. So they've caught us and Georgia and Ohio State and Texas and probably it looks like LSU and Ole Miss. And I didn't even mention that kid yet. It's probably done passed us up. So I don't know, man. If you're a Tennessee alum and you're well-to-do and you can contribute to the collective, wow. Pony up, boys. I don't know. Or please, please, from a fan's perspective, please help us. But something, I don't know. And listen, but I will say this. I know how our fan, like I said a minute ago, started to say this and changed my mind. Our fan base can be somewhat delusional and ready to fire everybody. I've even heard Tim Banks' name mentioned since the bowl game. Our defense has been legitimate all season long. Okay. They got manhandled by Ohio State when Ohio State was pissed off and ready to, play for the playoffs, but it's hard to argue with his statistics. Our defense has gotten better every single year, and this was a top 5 defense. So Banks is a heck of a coach, finalist for the Broyles Award. So gee whiz, yeah, you don't fire somebody like that. I do think a couple changes need made, but I don't want to see this fan base turn on Heupel. And he's done a lot of good, and he's won a lot of ball games. And I'm not saying he's on the hot seat. He's not anywhere close to being on the hot seat yet. But this can change quickly, right? So playoff run this year. Let's say next year. Let's say all this does happen. Let's say we don't get our collectives don't get this done, and we lose Boo, and we lose Arian, and we missed out on 2 or 3 of these other portal guys that we did miss out on. and we come in here in 25 and we go 8-4, even 7-5, fans are not going to be very happy, because wouldn't be very happy either. So they're going to start pushing back a little bit by the end of next season on Heupel. And people might come on, people might say, well, yeah, if we can't do better than that, it is time to fire him. I got mixed opinions on it. Who you hiring? Who you putting in his place? He has been the winningest coach, the best coach to start us out since Fulmer. Okay, Johnny Majors was here 16 seasons and he won 10 games plus twice in 16 years. Heupel's done it twice in 4. Okay, you can say what you want. He's a good coach. Does he need to tweak some stuff? Absolutely. I've already mentioned it on a prior video that I think Martinez needs to, or something. I'm not even sure Halzle is safe. I think we need to tweak something in this collective. That's not necessarily Heupel, but something needs to change. So Josh Thompson was the name I was getting. But anyway, my point was with that, please don't go spewing Negaval, fire Heupel, and stupid stuff all in the offseason. Heupel does not need fired at anywhere close to now. We're not yet. We're not there at all, man. But it's crazy. Our fan base is so passionate, and I love them, but at the same time, they're a little too much, even for a Vols fan at times. So just watch it, because here's the thing, man. Let's say in 2 years, even. Let's say next year we just stink it up and we go 7-5, and we go to the Music City Bowl and we whatever, right? We're not happy with that, and especially after a playoff year. So, and I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying let's go to worst case scenario. Let's go 7-5. Nico don't have any skill guys to catch the ball other than Mike Matthews, or 8-4. We're unhappy, right? So then we go into 2026. I know you got the a couple good guys coming in with that class, the top QB and the top athlete in the country. But let's say we stink it up again. A couple mediocre years, and this fan base will be Heupel got to go. I just hate to see that, because unless you have unless you coach get Saban out of retirement to come to Knoxville, he ain't going to do that. Then who you bringing in? Just got to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. So please be somewhat level-headed with comments, and because I think players, they check social media. Man, I mean, we all get fired up on myself, but I just, support the team until it's clear that you can't. Or support the team, period, and just hope that Heupel, this is what he gets paid, between $9 and $10 million to do, is make the necessary changes to get us going into next season. We did miss out on the Josh in the last couple hours. I found out from a source we missed out on Josh Thompson, the Northwestern. I think he was a tackle, wasn't he? He wasn't necessarily highly rated. He was a 3-star, but apparently he played a lot of ball and played very well for them. I don't. But Tennessee wanted him. And apparently he was all Vol, man. Brent Hubbs, VolQuest. He specifically said on another show this morning that he was all Vol. He was locked in Christmas Eve. He was going to Tennessee. My camera just messed up. So he was all in, but then he lost out to LSU in the end there. So I don't know. So that's where I got my statement earlier, where I said LSU. NIL must be a little bit better than ours, because dang, you don't lose guys, rival SEC school, so now I'm hearing Ole Miss is for the 2 Carters. So I don't know. Anyway, drop a comment. Are you guys panicking? Is it time you're worried your pets' heads are falling off? Or are we just kind of like, they're overreacting? It's not that big a deal. I did not think it was as big a deal until we missed out on the Thompson kid. But then when Squirrel hit the portal a little bit ago, it was like, okay, this isn't good. If we can keep the Carters here, but Arian and Boo, and they let Boo transfer to offense a little bit next year, I don't feel too bad about it. Now, if we lose both of them, Yeah, that's not good. That's not at all. So anyway, guys, I'm just ranting. I wasn't going to do a video, and I was getting ticked off. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta vent a little bit. I gotta do a little social media vent here. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care. Go Vols. Go Big Orange. And just hope for the best, boys and girls. So take care.